divorce. He's being sued for something else. I can remember what it was now. May even be bigamy. I can remember, but he was in court dealing with this. But I
Yeah,
don't know if he ever got divorced from his wife.
yeah. And family, sound just put the word out there. Put pressure on some of these other channels to kind of get not kind of to get the word out on this situation, to make our community aware of what's going on. You have this young boy, 14 years old. As you can see, this is the picture that the grandmother took. You know, Yaquab, I hear you. I see you in the back here. I just brought you on. Any comments you want to share?
Yes, sir. I'm sharing your live to my YouTube and also to my Insta, whatever they call it, X. But I see some of you said earlier that this makes it hard for us that really want to go out and do the work to help the widows, because when our people see stuff like this, it make us go back to that Black Life Matter thing. To me, how they took advantage of our people, and I think that a lot of times people take advantage of you when you really in need. You know, when you feel like you don't have nowhere else to go.
Well, see, that's how many of these cults form. They take
Hmm.
advantage of those that have low self esteem. They target senior citizens as well because, like, uh, places like this, they get those senior citizens in, become trustees for them, have their social security checks coming to them as being trustees. They put them on some rinky dink trailer on the property, while they had the big house, just like a slave plantation. But that's what they do. They get them on there, uh, and get their checks circulating, and that's how many of these guys build up these compounds, giving them this false sense of hope. They get a lot of young people motivated, young guys, because on the surface it looks right. It looks like he's hitting the things that many of the young men want to hear in terms of stern shit. As far as this masculine way of hearing scriptures and things along that line, and that's how he reel them in. But he's now, from what I understand, and there's videos of him saying how he got them young men giving him his paycheck, their
Hmm.
paychecks.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
Video.
so the first thing, and Sister Carol, you guys could confirm it too. The first thing they do, right, when they start, uh, getting to a place that they could really start getting their deception out there, the first thing they start attacking is marriage.
Yes.
They start attacking marriage. They and supposedly annul all the marriages, and then they start picking and choosing who they want. And then
Correct.
any woman within there they have to come through him as the one that determines who marries who.
Correct.
But that's what they do. And they take advantage of the other women like that, and they also take advantage of kids like this.
Correct.
Do you think that there's a connection between the adoption thing that happened?
You talking about the adoption that happened with the white couple that had the adopted some black kids, so to speak, and had them enslaved?
Yes, sir. And is that in Virginia?
No, that was down in, I can't remember what it was. I have to look it up because I was going to do a video on. I've been meaning to do a video on that. You know, but no, it's not the same. But then at the same time, it's still the same to me. The same perversion,
Hmm.
wicked spirit.
Correct.
You
Because they were
know,
selling
So
because they were selling them for sex trade.
do you
yeah.
think that
That's what
there's
they
a
had them.
like in that area, like if they doing that, like is they selling the children?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's exactly what's going on.
Okay. So in like families in that area, do you think that it may be children that was purchased by people who wanted to keep slavery going?
Well,
No,
it
it's for
goes
sex
beyond
slaves.
slavery. It goes into perversions
Yes.
because you have a lot of those behaviors on these compounds
Hmm.
by people that look just like you and I.
Correct.
You know, and I understand your question far as like them wanting to have slaves, and we do know that you have some people in this country that want to still have us as slaves. But
Hmm.
then when you start getting into unpacking, like with that white couple, they purposely adopted them for the agenda of perversions,
Yes.
and kind of like we see like some of the movie stars like that model out in South Africa was, I can't remember her name. She adopted a black kid, so to speak, and then she started having to dress up as a girl.
An
There was a
actress.
trend of them doing a number,
Hmm.
many of them doing like what's her name that had that movie Bird Box. Sandra Bullock did that as well.
Hmm.
Adopted Negro kids and then start dressing them up as girls.
She didn't do that. That was the other actress that did
I
that.
thought she did that too.
No, she never did that. That was what's her
I
name?
know what's her
Yes,
name?
her.
Charlie.
She's the
I
only
know
one
she
who's
did
done
it.
that.
Let me see here. I thought Sandra Bullock did that too.
No, Sandra never
Then
did
she
that. It was
then she
only it was
adopted
only
some
Charlie.
black kids though.
Yes, she did, but she's never dressed them transgender them. That was Charlie
Okay.
Pearson that did that. She's the only one who's
Okay.
done that.
Well, I stand corrected if I
Yeah,
put some misinformation out there.
yeah, but
Yeah,
no,
Mother Teresa, she was doing that too, wasn't she? The lady from the Catholic Church.
I never heard her doing that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I can't speak on that, but what I can speak on is what we're discussing right now, and
Right,
that's the stuff that we see happening within our this awakening. And
right,
really, it's not just within this awakening. I want to make it clear it's
correct.
happening in other spaces, but this is something that what I noticed in this awakening, many will use polygamy and things like that to uh, mask their perversions.
Hmm.
Things that they don't want to let go, or things that they were that they needed deliverance from, so they will use polygamy to try to as a tool to continue with the perversions.
Right, and sex trafficking is a big $1 billion business right now. So you're going to see a lot of stories like this get exposed when once they're uncovered by people doing this. So
Yeah,
Mm.
that's exactly what's happening with that white couple and what's probably with this child too as well.
yeah, yeah. So family, this is why I wanted to do this
Okay, I see it.
presentation here, this live
It
here.
it says
And
that she doesn't. They say there is no credible reports of Mother Teresa being involved with child trafficking or selling babies during her life.
yeah, so like I said, I
Yeah.
just don't want to, stuff that I'm not familiar with, I try to stay clear from. So because you know how it goes, people look for anything that they can to throw stones at this awakening, and
Mm.
so I'm glad you cleared that up. So yeah, uh, I'll also, like I said, what I mentioned about Sandra Bullock, I stand corrected. I thought it was her, but I stand corrected. I was wrong, so I want to pull that back. But it was what's her name?
Charlie Tierson.
Charlie. Is it Tilson or Theron?
Theron. I'm sorry. Charlie Theron. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. So just want to roll that back. But I thought it was some others that did the same thing.
Joe Lee, but she never transgendered any children either. She adopted several black children as well. But
Yeah,
only person who did any type of transgendering was Charlie.
yeah. But anyway, family, like bringing it back over to the main topic here, because I don't want to get sidetracked, and I want to just keep our focus on these guys right here.
Hmm.
And for me is, let's get the word out. If you see anyone from Straightway, not bringing this up, bring it up. Ask questions. Where is Bryce Muir? Where is he? You know, and we have to start making our voices known. Let our voices be heard, and start saying enough is enough. It can't keep being just a handful of people that are speaking against this. Now, I will say this: it's not just Straightway that is operating in this behavior, and I want to make that clear. It's other groups that have compounds that are doing this, the same things. So just be careful, parents. Watch over your children. You know, even if your children are grown, you know, especially in these spaces, you be careful on who gets in their ears. You know, so and I see a question here: why isn't the FBI police involved? Really can't say. You know how sometimes, in order for a child to be declared missing or sounding Amber Alert, they have to have like a certain timeline, like what is it, 28 to 48 hours, you know, before they can actually declare missing, or you know, they have to give time before they can actually call an Amber Alert. You know, and it's the grandmother that's reporting this. You know, so uh, you know, I don't know the law of Indiana. What's the requirements with that? But yeah, I'm not sure. And you know, I'm not sure if it's, well, he's 14. He can still call an Amber Alert, but I'm not sure um, how many hours or a day or whatever. How they, you know, what's the requirements?
Hmm.
It's 24 hours for kids.
Does it give an age? You know, when it says kids, you know, does
Yeah, I
it give
think
an
it's up
age
to 18 years old.
up to
It's
18?
24 hours. 24 hours.
Okay,
For adults, it's 48.
okay.
What's the status, Pastor? Do you know the status on the because you said you were saying one on your other live that there are some states that it took a while for them to amend that slavery.
Oh, you mean when I was dealing with the Mississippi and what was the other one? I think it was Kentucky, Mississippi, and I believe it was Kentucky. The two states that you know, as far as ratifying uh, the what's that? The 13th Amendment. It was 2013 when Mississippi officially ratified it, but it was
Cause I
1996 when they supposedly ratified it, but it was discovered that they didn't actually ratify it.
what was the I never really could find that law because after Abraham Lincoln was murdered, I think then wasn't it Abraham Lincoln's administration that passed the 14th Amendment, and
No, it
that
was
other guy came in.
that came. I can't remember the history, like far as when the 13th Amendment was officially you know, amended to the Constitution. I have to look it up. It's been a while since I looked. You know, um, you know, read and taught on that. It's been a long time, so I can't really give you much details on it. But I will say, actually, I believe it's what was it, Sister Cal, like 1850, something like that,
Yeah,
between
18.
1840, 1850, when the, you know, states came up with trying to get rid of slavery, even though they redefined it in, you know, to where as though you get in any kind of trouble, that's where they,
1865.
uh,
Right.
you know, you could still
Go
be incarcerated, enslaved. And so each state at that time had to ratify, uh, you know, that amendment. But a few states didn't do it immediately. Within the first 5 years, most of them did. I think Delaware took longer as well. But then, in a nutshell, uh, Kentucky wasn't until like 1973, 74. and in Mississippi was 1995. But then it was discovered that they actually didn't ratify it until uh, they didn't officially do it until 2013. So
That show
yeah,
you how they don't really deal with the situation, but just say it was bad. Cause you have right here New Jersey, Delaware, Kentucky, and Mississippi. And like when people tell us get over it and it's all over, but don't put any effort into to ratifying the situation.
yeah. Now for me, and I really don't want to get into all of that, quite honestly, because I really want to stay focused on what we're dealing with tonight. But we'll do a live. We could do a live this weekend and really go into that and use this as opportunity to discuss that. But I just really want to stay focused on the the situation at hand, just so that way I don't want to sound like we're like dismissing the
Yes, sir.
situation. So I appreciate the questions, but yeah, we can discuss it Friday, Shabbat night, or we could do it Saturday night. Um, but right now, I just want to just reiterate to um, the family, that's watching, get the word out, family. Put pressure on these different communities out here. If you have a YouTube channel, put the word out. And those that uh, you know, are bold and you want to call this out, start calling it out. But we need to put the word out because he's not the only one. He's not the only one that's being abused. There's a lot of abuse that's going on within this awakening, a lot of abuse. But right now,
Mm.
just want to make sure that we get the word out among this awakening, to make sure that we get the word out on uh, this 14-year-old kid. And as you can see, uh, the grandmother was the one that raised questions because she saw his face looking the way it is on the screen. And this is just the picture of his face. Can you imagine what else she saw? But
Mm.
it was the grandmother, by seeing her grandson, that provoked her to making a phone call to the police officers, to law enforcement, to make them aware, for them to check up on him because he left. He left. And for me, again, I believe that it was a plan between the husband and the wife. She gave the impression that she was taking off with her son in one direction, when actually he probably took him in another direction, because the police said that they pulled her over and she didn't have her son with them. You know how diversion, you know, it's just a lot of crazy stuff out here.
You think they was trying to escape?
You just never know. I mean, think about some of the cases that you see with wives in cahoots with the husband, right? Protect the husband, but throw their kids up under the bus.
Mm.
Remember, I did something on this. I believe this is before I transitioned to YouTube. But when I was on Facebook, there was a guy down in North Carolina. He was a Hebrew Israelite. He was teaching truth, but this guy impregnated three of his daughters, raped his daughters, and the mother uh, didn't do anything to protect her. She was condoning. She was actually taking up for the husband. It's another situation. It wasn't Israelites, but another situation I read up on a couple of weeks ago. A mother, daughter, husband. I mean, the girl was being abused by the husband, and the mother allowed it. And the mother, out of jealousy, because of finding, seeing how the husband kept raping and doing things to her daughter, instead of shooting the guy out of jealousy, she shot her own daughter.
Mm.
Shot her own daughter. I think she also shot her in the face and disfigured her and all.
So
So
they
you,
blocked off.
What's that again?
So they had to block off all of the, cause we got to pay at tolls when you go into different places. And I wonder if they blocked off the tolls for them, or they had the police out there. Cause if they saw them and they couldn't hold one of them, so I wonder if they blocked off the places where they can't go, and they'll have to scale the places where they got them blocked off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I believe that the one of the steps that they're going to do, if they don't come and bring him to them, they'll have a search warrant and they'll start invading these properties, at least in Indiana. So the question is, like Sister Carol brought up, if they take it and really not, because according to the news article or the news video, they were viewing that ministry as a standalone ministry when actually it's connected to Straightway. So when it goes beyond, like when they, let's just say if 24 hours come, they don't uh, get any updates on him, then they kick it into gear with the Amber Alert. They kick it into gear to now start what rating or warrants to go on the properties to search for them.
Right. Because
Anything you want to say, Mr. Carol?
it goes city, state, and then when after 24 hours of state, then it goes outside the state, in the
Yeah,
nationwide Amber Alert.
If I
yeah.
knew that I was trying to escape a bad situation, and the police stopped me and they didn't take me out of this world, well, make me go to sleep, I think that I would have stayed with them and turned myself in until they
Repeat that
could
again. You just
rectify that.
lost me.
What I'm saying is that I read the report where they said they stopped the mother and they didn't see the baby in the car. So I think that if I was in her shoes, that if I knew that it wasn't nothing going on fishy, but we was just trying to escape a bad situation, I would have told the police. I would have asked them, "Can I stay in y'all custody?" And so that they can bring everybody in safely and move them to a safer place.
Well, again, that's where don't want to, I'm not trying to speculate, but just based off of what the grandmother described and how they described things, it sounded like the mother was playing diversion. You know what I mean? To fake out the grandmother. The grandmother thinking that he went in the car with the mother, so she has to all the attention is on the mother's vehicle. She just kind of like a diversion, you know,
Mm.
while he went a different way with the father or whatever. That's what it appears to me. So, uh, like I said, we'll see what happens. So, I'm praying that best case scenario, they find him. Uh, I just pray that the extremes, or the extremities that can happen in this situation don't happen. Whereas though they find him dead, they find him, the father, you know, you know how some just get into this suicide mission and take everybody out, including their immediate family. So I'm just praying for the best, from a perspective of best case scenario. They find him, he's alive. Um, Unfortunate about this stuff right here, and they remove him from whatever harm. But again, going back to your point, I just think that right now they can't rule anything out, and I'm sure that they're not, especially with that whole situation. So of course, whatever they release is only what they choose to release. They can't release everything, so they're just putting enough out there to actually get us talking. You know what I mean? Get people talking. So we'll see what
Yes,
happens
sir.
over the next 24 hours. I'm praying that over the next 10 or 12 hours, there's resolution to this situation. They find him, and that at least they can take him out of harm's way.
Mm.
What do you
Yes,
think,
sir. I
Sister Carol?
just I
I
hope.
agree with you.
I
I
hope the
totally
same
agree with
thing.
you.
So family, I'm not going to hold you guys up, but I just wanted to do a this is like a unscheduled live. When I saw this on um, the brother's channel, I can't remember his name again. When I saw him do this, I just had to do this live to at least put the word out and show some clips to let you guys know just how um, perverted this cult is. This is a cult. This is not um, you know a ministry far as within this awakening. This is not um, you know uh, I don't have affiliation, never will, and I know most don't have affiliations with this group, right? But they are a cult. They are a cult, and we need to start speaking against this cult. Stop watching his channels. Stop, doing the things that's bringing income to him, and start calling it out. And if for some of you guys that are going to his channel, still go to his channel, just type in where is Bryson Buer. Just type it in. Where's Bryson Buer? I don't care if you have to type it in 50 times. Just type in where's Bryson Buer. Where is Bryson Buer? And I want to know where's this young guy? Where is he? Get the word out, family. Any final words as we get a wrap up, starting with you, Yaquaba?
Yes, sir. I wanted to say this. I heard a brother saying that this is a Hebrew Israelite cult, and I want to say, in regards to people that think like that and they see this kind of situation, we were labeled as black people in America as a race. That means everybody that look like us are in that same category, and it does not give the bloodline of the people. So we have to be careful with doing that because you hurting yourself when speaking against your identity, whether if you know you are Israelite or not. Be careful with that. Don't hurt your people. If you don't understand something, it's better to ask than to forejudge.
Got you. Appreciate it, my brother. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Um, and really appreciate it. Like I said, we'll be live this weekend, and we could further discuss the 13th Amendment. But really appreciate it again, Sister Carol. Any final words you want to give?
I just pray for resolution to all of this, and hopefully, this will be a trigger to investigate this situation and bring a close to this cult because he's been doing this far too long now, and it's galvanized. We see the cracks in the foundation now that people have, who are part of this and now leaving this, and they're speaking out against it, but no movement and shutting it down is happening. And I'm just praying that this situation will be the trigger to bring in the authorities, the right authorities, to resolve it and shut them down and put him in prison.
Yeah, yeah, and I totally agree. He's been doing this way too long,
Way too long.
way too long, way too long.
Very prideful with it.
Well, you know how it goes when you start when you start getting to a place and doing it for so long, like
Yeah.
he's been doing
Feels
it.
untouchable. He
Yeah,
feels
he
he's
gets
totally
this
untouchable.
invincibility,
Hmm.
mindset.
Yep.
Just like you see people in the streets, when
Hmm.
they get away with something for an extended period of time, they start thinking that they can never be touched,
Yeah.
and then you start seeing the cracks.
Hmm.
Part of the cracks you start seeing is infighting. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Jealousy start coming to the surface like we're seeing right now.
Correct.
You know what I mean? When they start basically, uh, eating on each other, so to speak.
Hmm.
So eventually, they start canceling each other out, and before you know it, that's where a lot of times these the government agencies pounce to get more information, see who's going to flip, you know. And so, like I said, I just, you know, I'm with you. I'm just ready for this whole cult to be shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Shut them down. Shut them down.
A house divided cannot stand.
Yeah. So, family, for those that may not agree with what my assessment on it, it is what it is. I'm not moved by it one way or the other. This is not my brother. This is not your brother, right? This is a deceiver. Let me make that clear. This is not my brother. And if you want to call him your brother, that's on you. But this is not my brother. He's a deceiver. He's not a brother. He's not part of the brethren. Their group is not part of the brethren. So when we start getting into that discussion about Christ, you know, if your brother, that's the key. If your brother asks for forgiveness, you know, this is not our brother. He is not our brother. He's a predator. Their whole group is all about predatory behavior. Anyway. But yeah, family, it is what it is. Let's stay prayerful for those that can't protect themselves, like the women, for in terms of the widows, the children. Let's stay prayerful for those that cannot defend themselves, just like the scripture tells us to protect those that cannot defend themselves. So let's stay prayerful. Let's pray that the best case scenario, he's alive. Amen. So I think I lost Sister Carol, but family, let's get the word out. Share the video, put it on Facebook, spread it on YouTube. Where is Byron Muir? All right. Bryson Muir, excuse me. Where is Bryson Muir? And again, appreciate the love and support. We'll be live Friday night or, you know, Shabbat nights. Amen. With that being said, in the words of the Most High that he gave to Moses to encourage Israel in Exodus chapter 14, verse 13 to 14, fear ye not, stand still, see the salvation of Yahweh. These Egyptians that you see here today, they will not have power over you ever again. The Most High will fight for you. But here's the kicker, family. We have to hold our peace. Can't go back. Can't stay here. Keep moving forward. Shalom.
Listen, Genesis chapter 11, verse 10 explains the genealogy of Shem. Shem was a black man in Africa. If you repeat this back, Genesis 14, verse 13, Abraham steps on the scene. Being a descendant of Shem, which is a fact, means Abraham too was black. Abraham, born in the city of a black man, called Nimrod, grandson of Ham. Ham had 4 sons. One was named Canaan. Here, let me do some explaining. Abraham, Isaac was Jacob had 12 sons, for real, and these were the children of Israel. According to Genesis chapter 10, these were the children of Israel. According to Genesis chapter 10, these were the children of